Andrew Bishop, representing Somerdale Park School at the Camden County 8th grade dialogue.
I'm really excited to meet kids from other schools, because in our school we don't have a lot of interaction with other towns, so it would be nice to get to know other kids from outside of our school. My most important trait I learned in middle school was communication, whether it be with teachers or peers, because peers obviously you need to have good relations with your friends so you can get work done, or you can just have someone to laugh with when there's not a lot of work to do. Also teachers, because if you can't communicate well with your teacher, and it creates kind of a bad relationship. And I feel like I learn best when I have a good relationship with my teachers. I also like them to know I work best when I do hands-on work, because if I can make a project like a giant poster, or maybe like a board game, to do this a lot in our language class, if I can do that and I can look back and say, I did a great job on this, it's probably the most satisfying feeling in the world, and I'd love to keep doing that throughout high school. I agree with a lot of the sentiments that were said before, like how honor society could have a lot more potential, and also there needs to be a lot more power in the student government. I also believe the expansion of the music program is vitally important, because as of right now, our band, I'm not sure about the other schools, but our band practices once a week for about 30 minutes, and 10 minutes of that time is spent actually assembling all the stands, getting instruments together, warming up, etc. Also, another major point for me is outreach to other schools, because as I look around this U, I cannot name a single face to say next to me. And I'd just like to give a shout out to, the name is slipping my right now, Miss McFury, I want to say, right? Am I saying that right?
McPherson.
McPherson, thank you. Please have my mind there. Me, her, and Mr. Tysky, my language teacher from Somerdale Park School, we all got together and thought about, because a couple of years ago, there used to be this dance between Magnolia, Stratford, and Somerdale, where they would host it. One would host it in the beginning of the year, one in the middle, one at the end, and all the students came together and really got to know each other. I feel like that we could benefit really heavily from that. I definitely have to say my parents are my biggest influence, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't survive the car ride home. They've definitely shaped me to the person I am today. My mom in particular, she taught me extra credit is like free money, always go for it. And my dad helping me out with my outfit definitely helps, and he's also, along with a lot of really good advice. But another two people I'd like to give a shout out to are my two teachers who are sitting actually at the table right now. Miss Palo, my math teacher, and Mr. Tysky, my ELA teacher. Miss Palo, she's just amazing. She's probably one of the best teachers I've had, along with Mr. Tysky, I have to mention. Miss Palo actually was the one who got me the pin I'm wearing on my shirt today. And she's given me a lot of good study habits. She's taught me how to take tests well, and she's cleaned up my handwriting, surprisingly. And Mr. Tysky, she's equally as good. If you were in her class for a day, you would be convinced ELA is the best subject in the world. Sorry, Ms. Palo. And like I mentioned before, I love working hands-on, I love being a leader. She has embraced that, and she has given me all of these opportunities, and I cannot thank her enough for being the amazing teacher she is. Totally agree with the give students a better platform. Even if it's just like a little box that they review at the Board of Ed meetings once a week, it would help tremendously. Also, as I mentioned before, having inter-school dances, because like I said, I don't know any of you people, but I'd love to know you through actually going to dances. And I think it worked really well, because I remember we did it for a couple of years before, and I was too young, so I don't know what it was like, but I hear from other students who did go that it was a great experience. And also, my final point before I get yanked off stage, the expansion of music, that is my number one talking point here, is we need more time for music. If it's another couple days, if it's the entire week, if it's a special period just for music, we need more, maybe not funding, but definitely a lot more time. Because as of now, it's 30 minutes a week with 10 minutes of setup, and we can't help that setup. It's almost set in stone. We've shaped it down as much as we could. We're going like as quick as we can. And also one more final point. I know the last one's my final point, but it just came to mind here. I'd love for a lot more advanced classes. There's one algebra class, and it's about 12 kids. And if there are other advanced classes, I'm not aware that they're advanced, because the only one I know for a fact is advanced is algebra, because our teacher always says this is a high school level class. But you get thrown in a science class, and maybe the teacher tells you it's A level, maybe she tells you it's you're falling behind. You don't really know unless you go up and ask, and there's not really a direct answer either. So you don't know if you're taking a high school level class while you're taking an average level class. I feel like there's a lot more communication between administration and students.